I love you more.
No.
Thank you, baby.
Am I ever going to turn on the stream?
If you would like to.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is say the word.
Or
Oh God, my hair. Oh, we got 2 viewers. All right. Let's get this posted to Twitter.
you're talking to me.
Kind of talking to myself.
Okay.
The 2 people that are in here, everybody can say hi to Katie.
What'd you say?
Say for the 2 people that are in here, they can say hi to you.
Hey.
And where's Twitter?
So are you swearing?
Yeah. All right. Where's tweet? No, that's not. All right. Yeah, let's get it to Discord as well. All right, how many people we got in here now? Now that we got it sent out everywhere. We got 8 people. Tori said he had 1,614 parlay from watching it live for week 2. Appreciate you. Did week 2, did we do a live week 2? I know we did one last week. We hit one week 2. That's even better. Love to see it. How's the last MLB prop doing before we get going and let people flow in here? Oh, that's not good. 3 pitch. Dang. That is not good at all. Welcome, everybody. People are starting to roll in. We'll let a couple more people get in. We'll let Zach Thompson finish this inning, and then we'll get going on Thursday Night Football. Let me check the last injury report before we get going, too, because that's going to play a big role in what we look at. Lions injury report, and we'll share the screen as well. How's it going, Doc? It's going good. It is going good. We're making some nice money before Thursday Night Football rolls around. Building the bankroll. There's not much to complain about. All right, let me fix the settings on this so it looks a little better for you guys. I think this is the one. No. Oh, shit. It's not what I wanted. Okay. Didn't mess with the camera. Nuke Buffalo Miami game tag. We got to check the weather first. Let me see. Oh no, Vitai's out. That's not good. Taylor Decker questionable. Jonah Jackson questionable. All right, before we lock anything in, we're definitely gonna have to wait to see if these guys are playing or not tomorrow, because those are big factors. Between Montgomery, Decker, Jackson, and Vaitai, that is not ideal. But let me go back to fixing the dimensions for you guys. Does that look better? That should. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right, that's way better on the stream, I think. Yeah. Christian, what's up? I saw your comment on the last video me and JJ posted. Very much appreciated to see that support. Fields over 168.5 passing yards, but it got bumped. I don't think I'm playing Justin Fields prop the entire year unless it's an under. He looks bad. The play calling looks bad. Just the only thing that doesn't look bad is his receivers, but it doesn't matter because he's not finding them. Do you like Keenan Allen over receiving yards? What do the Chargers play? I haven't really looked much into the week. I don't think Zach Thompson's hitting everybody. Yep, he just missed. That's unfortunate. 13 pitches. Not ideal. All right, let's go look at the Chargers real quick. They play the Raiders. Yeah, go ahead and take Keenan Allen over. How high is his line? I imagine it's high. Let's go check it out. 82.5. That's reasonable. I don't know that there's value in the line, but I think he should still hit. Like, if I was the lines maker, I'd probably be setting it at like 86.5 myself. So I think he hits, but I don't know. I'll see if I'm going to play it. I will say with Mike Williams out, what I've been doing with Chargers props when I like their passing game is I'll usually just take Herbert instead of trying to pick between Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. But with Mike Williams out, if I like the passing attack, I'll just take Keenan Allen. Let's switch my camera over here since I'm looking more at this screen anyways. How are we looking there? All right, perfect. I'll finish going through the questions and then I'll start looking at the slate. Like Laporta over 3.5 receptions. I mean, you might as well keep taking his props until they start missing, dude. His volume is pretty insane. Normally, rookie tight ends don't perform at all. It's usually like week or year 3 until they break out. So the fact that he's doing well this early is very promising. And I think since he's a rookie, that's why they're so reluctant to bump his lines higher. But realistically, it should probably be at like 4.5, 5 receptions. His usage is beautiful. Najee, 52.5 rushing yards over the Texans. I thought he looked surprisingly decent last game versus the Raiders. It is the Raiders, so don't put too much weight into it. But he's also going against the Texans, so I don't think it should make a difference. I think the Chargers will force feed Keenan. I don't know if they'll force feed. I mean, Keenan's just going to be open more than any receiver on the team, and he's going to be the first read. So if he's open, he's going to get the ball. But I don't know that they're going to try and force the ball to him, especially Herbert. If he doesn't have to go to Keenan Allen, like if other guys are open, he's not scared to spread the wealth. So, I don't think they'll force feed him, but he should do well. Gibbs over rushing yards since Jacksonville gives up a lot of rushes. Gibbs is going against the Packers tomorrow. Who's going against Jacksonville? Oh, you probably mean Bijan. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm not too high on the Jacksonville defense. Some people think they're underrated. I'm not one of those people. I think they have a decent secondary, like good, not great, but I don't think it's anything special. All right, so this is the Lions injury report, and then here's Green Bay. We got – that's not good. Oh, they ruled him out. Ooh. Aaron Jones and Christian Watson are listed as questionable. I'm pretty sure Christian Watson's supposed to play, though. Aaron Jones is actually questionable, but I think he will play too. So that's kind of how I'm attacking this. But yeah, let's start taking a look. You meant Bijan receiving yards? They might just run the ball instead of like they usually. I usually target running back receiving yards if the other team has a good defensive line, but the other team's best player is a running back. So like when I took Saquon week 1, it was because if the Giants wanted to have a chance, they were going to need to get their best player involved, which was Saquon. But the Cowboys obviously have a great defensive line, so to get Saquon involved away from that defensive line, you'd run screen passes and stuff like that. But I mean, I think the Jacksonville weak link, not weak link, but I don't think their defensive line is particularly good. So if they want to get Bijan involved, they can run or pass the ball. It can go either way. So I'd say if you like Bijan, go ahead and take his rushing receiving. That way you don't have to worry about picking the wrong one because more often than not, he's going to go off in at least one of them. I think that's all the questions. So let's get into looking at some props. First, I'm going to go look at what coverages each team runs, which I can't share on the screen, but I'll call it out once I get it pulled up. So this website's kind of laggy. And then I think Friday, because I get asked a lot where I get the information for all the coverages, which it's from True Media, and I don't know if I'm technically allowed to take screenshots and share that information. But what I'll do is I'll post a tweet talking about these are the main teams that run cover 3, these are the main teams that run cover 2, and then highlight what are the best receivers against those coverages. So at least you guys have some sort of idea what to look for. All right, here we are. Coverage scheme specific. We're looking for Packers. Let's look at them first. Packers run a lot of cover 3, which is a shame because I don't know if it's a shame because I know Amon-Ra St. Brown is pretty solid versus cover 3. So let's check that. Let's go the 33rd team. I was looking at the Reds' playoff chances. It's not looking good. For anybody wondering what that is? Well, somebody's asking about Amon-Ra. We're looking at that right now. So pass coverage, cover 3, and then we'll look at since week 1 last year. Are there better fries than Chick-fil-A fries? I don't think so. I think they legitimately might be the best fries. Okay, so one thing I want to make note of, Jared Goff is very good versus cover 3. However, he's also significantly better at home than he is away. And the Lions are away tomorrow. So let's check specifically in away games. How does he do? This is actually really good. 76.4% pass completion away. That's the most of anybody with actual snaps against that coverage. Yards per attempt, 10.7 is also really nice. The only person with actual snaps that's better than that is Tua, which only by 0.2. That's pretty impressive category to be in. So let's filter out away games. Let's say at least 75 snaps versus that coverage. Doesn't change too much. But if you go, let's go here. Go to Stat Muse. Let's say Jared Goff home versus away with Lions. yards per game. Typing with one hand, so forgive my typing speed. And my typing ability, apparently. Hawkinson's at 4.5 receptions. Dude, what are they doing? What are they doing? Against the Panthers, too. Only 4.5-point favorites. Bryce Young should be back. Are we just going to take Hawkinson every week, guys? Is that really what we're doing? That's what I might do. So here's the big thing. Jared Goff, at home, dog, 260 yards. Away, 237. Not ideal. Can't remember. I don't think last year was his first year with the Lions. So let's check last year. Still, a lot of the same. 30-yard difference between home and away. I don't know how much of that is. Oh, I know what to do. Pass yards per attempt. It's kind of a different offense now. That's a pretty big difference. But then again, you look at specifically versus cover 3, and he actually averages more yards per attempt on the road than he does away. So they kind of contradict. But then if we look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, receiving yards. Well, I wonder if they give us receiving yards per route. If they don't, I can check on this other website that I can't share with you guys. No, they don't. But you can see right here. Receiving yards and games played, home versus away. That's a huge difference, guys. Receiving yards per game, 87.4 to 62.4. That is significant. So it makes it tough. Trying to figure out how I want to attack it. Let me try. I don't want to say without TJ Hawkinson, because actually let's try with TJ Hawkinson. That way we eliminate some of the games. Refactor in Sam Laporta at least a little bit. Wow, look at that. I want to look at his away log. I feel like there's a game where he had like 0 receptions and it's causing it to sway the wrong way. He got hurt this game. I was at that game. I remember that. Yeah, it might just be that skewing the data a lot because honestly, these logs are not that bad. 11 targets, 9 targets. New England's we got smacked this game, I think. Yeah, we got dog walked. So I think that was the last game where the Lions were bad, though. So ignore this. I don't know what week that was. And ignore this. We look past here. Over 9 targets every game. 7 receptions. What's his receptions line on PrizePicks? But we'll check DraftKings. Oh, that's nice. I really like that then. Amon-Ra over 6.5. That's solid value. I wonder if they got us at 6 on PrizePicks. That would be awesome. Let's check. Has the line like recently moved? Let's catch up on some questions. Ja'Marr Chase versus the Titans. Any wide receiver against the Titans, I'm going to say I love. They're so bad. Jordan Love, 19.5 completions. Do you like? Not really. I think Jordan Love, I think he's solid. I think he's getting a little too much hype right now. Like he's doing a lot of aggression that I don't think a lot of people realize. So, Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up Prize Picks. Here we go. He's doing a lot of regression that I don't think people realize, and I think the Lions are going to try and slow this game down at least a little bit. So, what was I checking? Oh, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah, he's 6.5 on here. It makes it tough. Let me see how many games with 7 receptions. Let me go back to the game log. Actually, I want to check something. 71. Oh, he's in those 70s a lot, which makes it tough. Yeah, so I think these two games are very much skewing the home away splits. Now that I look at it, I dropped a fry because everything else looks pretty straightforward. So then we go back. It's like Amon-Ra with off at least 7 receptions. Because we might just take yards. What's his yards at? 74.5, I think. So 74.5. Where I keep losing stat views up here. Here we are. So if you're on Prize Picks, I'd say take the yards because obviously compared to Sportsbook, you don't have the same value. Yeah, somebody's saying Amon-Ra's juiced under 6.5 on Prize Picks. I think it goes over. So I think if you're on books, take the value at minus 105. If you're on Prize Picks, go ahead and take the yards because if he's getting 7 receptions, he's very likely getting the yards by the looks of it too. I'm going to look into one more thing to confirm it. Let's go to team defense. We also need to keep an eye on Jair Alexander to see if he's playing. So I'll check that in a minute too. But I don't think Jair was shadowing. Go back and look at the tape. I don't think Jair was shadowing Amon-Ra because Amon-Ra's he moves around a lot. And a lot of it is in the slot, which is kind of tough for outside corners to shadow. Now, if it's elite guys like Jefferson, yeah, they'll do it. But if it's guys like Amon-Ra where they like the Lions do a lot of play action, they want their guys to settle in the zones. It's not so much, hey, Jefferson, go beat your guy one-on-one. It's not the same thing with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not a detriment to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's just a different kind of receiver. But let's see versus wide receivers, yards per reception. And let's look up Green Bay. Please don't be low. Not ideal. Let's look at since last year. Not the same team, but close enough. Their secondary is not that different, I feel like. Yeah, Green Bay was really high last year. And you also have to consider the fact that they played Atlanta, who threw it to Bijan like every play. They played Chicago. They did play. Yeah, they played Chicago. Justin Fields does not count. And then they played the Saints after Derek Carr got hurt. So that in that 3-game sample size where they had the 19th most yards per reception, the fact that it's 19th and those are the 3 teams they played, they're probably going to be top 10 when it's all said and done on the season. So this being ranked 9th makes much more sense to me than 19th. Let me see if I completely eliminate this season. See if they bump higher or lower. 13.3. So yeah, that's kind of, I think that's more realistic. Love under 1.5 passing touchdowns. So because he is due a lot of regression, I like it. But at the same time, I'm expecting this game to go over. I know people say, for anybody who saw my tweet, primetime games usually go under. It's a very popular system. It hits at like 60% of the time. But the caveat is in non-divisional games. In divisional games, which this one is, it's pretty much 50-50. In divisional games early in the season where both teams went under in their previous game, the over is hitting at a 66% rate in the last 20 years. 19 years. So makes me reluctant to take any unders in this game. Even though I do like the reasoning for that makes sense, I'm not going to play it though, just to be clear. I support it. I'm not going to put my money on it. Now, if you can get it under 2.5, put it in like a 5-leg parlay or something at juicy odds, I'll take that. If I can find that anywhere, I'm putting it in my parlay. So Amon-Ra looks good. Let me see Amon-Ra without TJ Hawkinson. Can I filter that out? Because let's see. So let me change the way this shared. No, why are we lagging? Right, here we go. Sorry about that. All right, we're back. So I want to find which game Hawkinson got traded because I honestly can't remember. I can't remember if we had him for this game. Let's check. So we did have him versus Dallas. Okay, actually, so Amon-Ra got hurt in that game. He did come back, but he was 100% a decoy. There is absolutely no chance that because we were watching the game. The Lions pretty much ran at every play. I think they only scored like 6 points the whole game. And like Khalif Raymond, I think was the main guy. Let me go back and check, but if I remember it correctly, it was some like wide receiver, the third wide receiver on the team. No, oh wait, yeah, Khalif Raymond 5 for 75. We had 6 points. And honestly, if you watch the game, this scoreline wasn't true. I think it was like 12-6 for a good chunk of the game. Yeah, 10-6, a good chunk of the game, and then I think this happened late, and then desperation towards the end. Goff threw a pick or something, and then they got another touchdown late. But it really was not that. It was a decent game, honestly. Besides the point. So TJ Hawkinson was there for this one. Trying to find exactly when he was gone. There's definitely a more efficient way to do this, but I don't feel like searching something else up. Let's just do this. So I was right there. If I just check the next game. So we look here. 11, 7, 9, 9, 5, 13, 10, 9, 12, 10, 8, 11, 9. These are the games without TJ Hawkinson. And then let's look at away games. TJ Hawkinson played this game. What are we doing? Let's try end. Sometimes I don't understand 70s. All right, here we go. Whoa, this is nice. This is really nice, guys. Also, this was bullshit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think he had 5 receptions in the first half. No, 4 receptions in the first half, and then the 5th one very early in the second half. He should have gone over this game. If we want to check versus Green Bay specifically, he had 6 for 9 in this game for 49. Gone over this line in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 9 without Hawkinson. 2 games where he's 5 yards short, 4 yards short. So, yeah, on Prize Picks, go ahead and take the yards. Sorry for that weird ad at the bottom. On Prize Picks, go ahead and take the yards. On books, I have to debate yards or receptions. Kind of leaning yards, but let's check one more thing. It's not on this. Hold on. I have like 3 Google accounts registered technically. Oh no, I put the wrong link on. God dang it. Did I do it on? For those who are in the Discord and already in here, apologies. I had to put the proper link. I had the wrong website. So, which screen are you guys seeing right now? Whoa, here we go. Yeah, I'm still here. Good. Let's go to Twitter here. And I had to put the link up. Sorry guys for the delay. I just got to get this sorted out since I posted the wrong link. Why is my computer being so slow today? Where is it? Posted it somewhere. Please tell me I at least put the right one on Twitter. I did not. Can I edit it? We can. All right, there we go. All right, now we should get more people in here. There we go. Twitter Blue's great, isn't it? All right, we're back in business. Somebody said, all right, let's go back and look at some comments real quick. We'll catch up on those and then I'll keep going. I know I missed some questions earlier. What do you think about great value DeAndre Swift tomorrow? DeAndre Swift, Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, I'm honestly, as like not even joking, because I know it's gonna come off as a joke because he keeps burning everybody. I'm probably gonna be playing him. I don't know. I'll probably only post 2 or 3 plays, most likely 2. But even if he isn't on my main list that I post, he'll probably be one of those posts or one of those bets that I take in the background without telling anybody, or just like post to pick it and only pick it. Where are we? Jordan Love over 3.5 rush attempts. I like it. Quarterbacks seem to be running on the lines a lot. It's the same reason I took Patrick Mahomes in the first game. Teams who like to play man coverage and get pressure to the quarterback, it's going to force quarterbacks to scramble a lot. And against man coverage, they're more likely to run because the DBs have their back turned to them, chasing the receivers. So it opens up a lot of running opportunities for the quarterback. And most teams would rather have the quarterback run for 5 yards than have a completion 20 yards downfield. Let me go back and check. I know the Lions played a lot of man last year. I want to see if they're doing the same this year. So the Lions are about middle of the pack between man and zone, but you always have to take into the fact, I think they played a lot of man versus Atlanta. Let me check how much man they played versus Atlanta right now. Yeah, they played 72% zone versus Atlanta. Okay. And then who else have they played? Andy Reid. They played 77% zone versus Kansas City. And then week 2, who was it? Seattle. So Pete Carroll. And 74% zone. So that's actually, they're playing a good bit of zone more than last year. I want to check if it changed from last year, if I just remember it wrong. Yeah, no, Lions played the 3rd most man coverage last year, and I guess it looks like they completely flipped this season. So that's actually really good to know. I don't know if Aaron Jones does better versus man or zone. That's also something to keep in mind if he returns tomorrow. Christian Watson looks like he's going to play, so let's go check him out versus man and zone. And same for Musgrave. Let's check Jordan Love too. So Jordan Love, whoa, that's really bad. Hold on. 47% pass completion? That's horrible. See, this is the type of regression I'm talking about. To have 47% pass completion and then 30.6 fantasy points on 50 snaps, one of these is way off, and it's not this one because this one is carried by touchdowns. 3 touchdowns in 2 games, that's not going to versus man coverage, which teams only usually play about 20% of the time, and the Lions don't play a lot of anyways. Apparently, they might adjust this game. I don't know, but 47 pass completion is not good at all. 7 yards per attempt. That's horrible, man. Let's check zone. It has to be way better per zone. Otherwise, nobody would be talking about him. Oh my God. Why are people... This is not good, guys. Not good for Jordan Love. Not at all. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 56%. This is about average for quarterbacks for zone, about 67%. You're telling me this guy who people have been talking about pretty optimistically after 3 games, 56.1% pass completion, 6.4 yards per attempt, 14.4 fantasy points in 43 snaps. That's not good at all. And then you look at Goff, dog, absolute dog versus zone. Kills them. Let me check. I think the Packers play a lot of. Yeah, the Packers play a bunch of cover 3. I know their zone percentage is super high. They have the highest zone percentage in the NFL, guys. Guys. I'm a Lions fan, so probably ignore me when I say this, but we might have to nuke Lions -1.5. This is ridiculous. Let's check. What's his face? Christian Watson last year, man versus zone, because that's the only thing that might save him. That is the only thing that might save him. Let's check. What was the week that he blew up versus Dallas? Because I don't want to look at games before that didn't do much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll check post week 7 how he did versus each coverage. It's supposed to be here. Let's go to receiving. Yeah, for anybody that's not using the 33rd Teams website, you're wasting your time because this is honestly the best website to research on. Does Pickett cost? Pickett's free. It's a bet. It's pretty much a third-party bet tracker with a feed just like Twitter. It's literally just gambling Twitter. Or it's Twitter, but fitted towards gambling. So it tracks your bets. It syncs with your account. So all you have to do is log in on Pickett, and then you don't have to log anything. It does it for you. There's a feed. It makes it super easy to copy bets. So like on Twitter, if I post, I don't know if I'm taking this yet, but just for the sake of the example, let's say I post Gibbs over 3.5 receptions on Twitter. You have to read it, go to the app yourself, search him up, and then bet it. On Pickett, there's an option that says copy bet on the feed. And since it syncs with my book, it automatically puts it on the page. And all I have to do is click copy bet. It'll take you directly to the app itself and open the bet for you. All you have to do is decide how much you want to put in and click submit. It's super functional. It makes it super easy to tail things. It's one of my favorite apps that exists. So if you join, make sure you use code Dr. Profit, DRPROFIT. It's a beautiful app. What's the play with Laporte then? That's kind of what we're talking about right now. I don't have it in for sure yet, but unless Christian Watson is an absolute dog versus zone coverage, which I think he's better versus man anyways, it's looking like a big Jordan Love disaster class. Christian Watson, 21% targets per route run, 2.3 yards per route run. That's about average. That's lower than you'd want it to be. This is not ideal. So this is after his blow up. So we're already filtering for that. Musgrave has been really good versus zone. 30% targets per route run, 1.8 yards per route run. Ignore this. If you're going to take Musgrave, I feel like in that case, you kind of have to do receptions. But on 37 routes, He's probably. Hold on, let me put my phone in the charger. Sorry, guys. The phone's dying on us. Let me do the math. If Lions run 70% zone, which is what they've been doing, they'll probably run 75. Let's say Packers run 65 plays, 60% of them are pass plays. That means Musgrave's going to run about 29 routes versus zone. He's got 30% targets per route run. That's looking at like 8 to 9 targets. Now, Christian Watson being back lowers that a little, so we'll look at 5 to 6 targets. What's his receptions line? If I had to bet, it's at 3.5. Three, that's a good play. Not going to lie to you guys. That 3 receptions is solid. I don't know that Christian Watson coming in is going to be enough to hurt that. The only thing that might hurt that is the fact that Jordan Love literally has a 50% pass, like 50% pass completion versus zone, which is horrible. If I'm going to tell you right now, if that 3.0 prop misses, it's Jordan Love's fault. I already know it. I've already seen it. Will the list come out tomorrow? The list is coming out first thing tomorrow. Anybody catch the correct spelling for the promo code? I'll just put it in the chat. It doesn't have to be all caps. It just makes it easier if I put it in all caps. So here, I'll do this. Ticket code. You get free. You get 3 to $100. So I'll just put that. So I'll put that in the chat and you guys can see it here. Hopefully YouTube doesn't get mad at me for that. With Watson going up, I want to say Jayden Reed under 3.5. Dude, if the Packers are smart, they get Jayden Reed involved more. I don't know what they're doing with him. So I'm gonna stay away because it's like, dude, those primetime games where those guys who've been doing well have been getting underused. It's like the perfect breakout opportunity for those guys. And it's like, it's one of those where I completely understand why somebody would like it. But it's like, if I took it and then played it and saw him go off, I'd be like, this was very predictable. Like, I don't know why I didn't see this coming. Dude, Christian Watson's targets per route run versus zone are not good. Romeo Doubs is 24%. Jayden Reed is 29%. Musgrave 30%. So that's not good at all. Let's check. Let's only look at last year. Make this fair for all the Green Bay receivers. Romeo Doubs 22%, Christian Watson 21%. Romeo Doubs 2.3 yards per run, Christian Watson 2.3 yards per run. So you'd want that higher if you're Green Bay. Let's even filter for even later. Let's give him like a 2-week cushion after what we already gave him. Let's say week 9. If these numbers aren't jumping up against a team that's playing a lot of zone and has been pretty good on defense so far this season. Romeo Doubs, 34% targets per run. This is at the Romeo Doubs breakout pretty much at this point. 29 routes run is a pretty small sample size, though, for what it's worth. Christian Watson, all the way down here, 21% still. 112 yards per routes run. That's a decent sample size. He's relying on these big plays for this 2.4 yards per route run. 16.9 ADOT. That's high. That's high. Who's up here? Samori Toure. I don't know who that is. Yeah, look at how high Christian Watson is for his ADOT. Jameson Williams with a nice 21 routes. Like, nobody here outside of Brandon Cooks, Tyquan Thornton, Justin Watson, like, nobody here has a sizable routes run. And Justin Watson, he literally, like, this is low. Where Tyquan Thornton, this is low. This is low. Like, nobody's getting this with legitimate volume. And that's where Christian Watson is. And we knew that about Christian Watson going in. This is more just to say Jordan Love has been bad versus zone. Christian Watson is not enough of an addition coming back to where we can expect him to bounce back and have 70-75% pass completion rate in this game. It's going to take an absolute shitter from the Detroit defense for Jordan Love to bounce back. That's tough. Let's check Aaron Jones. Let me add running backs into the mix. And let's say minimum 100 snaps. Because I bet Aaron Jones is high on this list. For running backs, at least. He doesn't even have 100. Oh, hold on. Let me do that. That's important. Come on. We can do it. 19% targets per out run against zone. That's decent. I guess that's not anything crazy, but I want to see how high it is versus man now. I'm very curious. 13%. So Aaron Jones is actually much better versus zone coverage, both in yards per out run, ADOT, targets per out run, and target percentage. So that's worth keeping an eye on with him coming back. I'd say with him coming back, if him and Christian Watson both come back, I'm more favoring Aaron Jones over Christian Watson. I want to check Christian Watson versus man now. Let's go back to week 7. I've mainly just been cooking. I think I'm just going to take Amon-Ra tomorrow, honestly. I don't know that I want to play the running back game between David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, considering we don't know how much work David Montgomery is going to get or if he's even going to be healthy. And it seems like the Jared Goff home away splits that I was concerned about seems reliant on 2 outliers, really. They don't even have Watson up here, do they? What is going on? Oh, I forgot. Here we go. Let's change this down to 50. Yeah, dude, 35. This is Amon-Ra St. Brown. That was 35% targets per out run, or 36. Yeah, so Christian Watson is way better versus man coverage. Way better. Up 21% from 21% to 32% in targets per out run, and up from 2.3 to 3.8 in yards per out run. ADOT's still super high, but he actually sees a decent amount of volume. The air yard share is up also like another 14%. So that's a huge, huge difference for those who are familiar with those stats or unfamiliar with those stats. What app do you bet with? I use Prize Picks, Underdog, Vivid Picks, Parlay Play. Who am I forgetting? I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple apps. I used all the ZFS apps up until last month. Then I moved to Ohio. Those apps are no longer legal here. I use Sportsbooks, DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, Hard Rock Bets. But if there's ever a line that I like only on Prize Picks, like a lot of soccer bets are only on Prize Picks, the border's 10 minutes away. So I'll drive across the border, place the bets, drive back home. But I'm not trying to waste 20 minutes if I can just take it on DraftKings. What's happening here? I don't know what's happening there. Sorry. What am I forgetting? So I don't want to target Christian Watson against a team that's running a lot of zone and probably runs more zone against a guy that's not good against zone. Granted, Jordan Love isn't good against zone or man right now, but if Christian Watson is back, Christian Watson kills man coverage, expect them not to run a lot of man coverage because they haven't been doing that already. Who else is worth looking at? Let's take a look at Musgrave, even though his stats are going to change a little bit with Christian Watson coming back. No, 8% targets per out run versus man. So he does really well versus zone, awful versus man, and it looks like the Lions are going to run more zone. If I had to take a guess, I can look at exactly which zone coverage they're going to run. Give me 2 seconds because there's like 5 different zone coverages. I want to say, I'm not going to take a guess because I'm going to get it wrong. They're running a lot of cover 4. It's mainly cover 4 and cover 3. They're right on league average for cover 3. They're actually double the average for cover 2, and they're 6% above average for cover 4. So if we want to look at those coverages specifically, let's get a little cover 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, that's correct. And let's say 10, just for the sake of looking at Musgrave. Or Musgrave. Dude, Tyreek's fucking animal. Musgrave versus these coverages, 17.3 target percentage, 18% targets per route run, 1.5 yards per route run, 10.7 ADOT. Expect that to jump down to like 15 and 16. So it's probably still the best Green Bay prop, but if you're looking for an over, Jalen Reed and Romeo Doubs, they're going to take bigger hits than him because they're actually wide receivers. Dude, Jaden Reed, if they're smart, they get Jaden Reed involved more. He's a good piece for him. I think that's the highest Green Bay. Yeah. We can check Christian Watson last year. Post week 7. Wait, 4 selected. Hold on. That's going to alter some things. Watson, 25% targets per out run, 2.8 yards per out run. Okay. So with this information, I'm still fine taking Jordan Love unders. I don't think I'm going to take Christian Watson unders unless we hear something about a snap count. I don't understand why Prize Picks would be illegal in a state with legalized books. Yeah, I was in Texas up until I just graduated from college in May. Am I lagging? No, I'm not lagging. I just graduated college in May. I was going to school in Dallas. So, yeah, that Prize Picks, all that stuff, that's what I was playing. But, yeah, I've never understood it either, honestly. Every time I partner with one of these apps, I ask them in the original meeting, I'm like, how are you guys legal? Like, just like shits and giggles, making conversation. They always explain it to me. Still never makes sense to me. But I'm not going to complain. More people get to tail my bets and make money. You said that you like the over. For Christian Watson, no. For Musgrave, yes. I don't know if I'm going to play it at 3.0. It's enticing. But I'm not. Christian Watson's bad versus zone, but he's better versus these specific types of zone that the Lions run. So I don't love it. But Jordan Love struggles a lot. So I think it's worth a look for Jordan Love unders. Let's go here. Sorry for the total game. Yeah, I like the over for the game. More specifically, I like the Lions to win. But the way I usually do it, it's different with the game total this low or with a spread this low. But if there's a spread that's like 5.5, 6.5 points, I usually, if I like the team that's favored, I take the over of the game. If I like the under, I take the other team to cover as an underdog. Because what usually happens is, if it goes under, it's more likely to be a tighter gap. So let's say the over-under is at 42, and one team controls the game, and it's 25 to 14. Very sizable lead, easy backdoor cover, late touchdown by the underdog, covers the spread, goes over the game point total, but doesn't really have any effect on the outcome of the game. Or I had it backwards. I'm very bad at explaining this for whatever reason right now, probably because it's, what time is it? 8:40 p.m. But yeah, for bigger spreads, it applies more. But for smaller spreads, I'd take the over. I'd take the Lions -1.5. Probably going to throw it in a parlay for shits and giggles. All right, where were we? Oh, let's take Jordan Love against these zone coverages. 60% pass completion. That's not good, guys. That is not good. And a lot of this is probably, or it's not a lot, but some of this is probably including garbage time from last year, where he got it like 10 passes in. Let's check now. 57.5. That's not good, guys. Look at this. Look at this. You're in the same company as Desmond Ridder, Deshaun Watson, Zach Wilson, and Ryan Tannehill. Are you taking those guys as over on any day? Probably not, especially with how bad they've been this year. You're looking at 263 yards in 42 snaps. Dropbacks, that is, actually. 42 dropbacks. So you're telling me he's probably getting 35 dropbacks this game? It's tough. It is tough. I don't like that at all, honestly. 35 dropbacks, probably three sacks, 1 or 2 balls thrown away. So we're really looking at 29 to 32 pass attempts. And what's his line at? 232. If you're taking the over, you're betting on a very tight window because I don't think he's getting more than 245, 250. I could see him go over, but if he goes over, I don't think it's going to be by a lot. Omar's asking if you should bench Jordan Love in fantasy. I mean, it depends on your other options, but I would. I want to see his scrambles. Can I do that here? No, that's designed runs. All right, I can do it on the secret website that you guys can't look at. So give me 2 seconds to look that up. Jordan Love. We're going to look at zone, and we're going to look at when he's pressured, because I think the Lions are good at getting pressure, I'm pretty sure. I know Aiden Hutchinson's been very good at getting pressure, but let's see. Yeah, Lions' 4th highest zone pressure rate, 41.1%. And that's not even considering the fact that the guy lined up against Hutchinson in week 1 was false starting every single play. Should we go under on completions? Some people have been talking about the over to me, and they've been telling me hey, his over completions looks pretty solid, and I like the over in the game, but man, it's not looking good for his completions. We got to be completely honest. So I don't hate that at all. All right. How can I figure this? How can I filter this? Oh, here we go. So, dude, how are the Lions giving up so much quarterback rushing yards? You got Anthony Richardson, this shouldn't have changed anything. You should have been starting Anthony Richardson from the start. If he's healthy, you're playing him over Jordan Love every day of the week, in my opinion. Yeah, yes, you should absolutely be starting Anthony Richardson over Jordan Love without hesitation, in my opinion. As long as he's healthy, you're starting him. There's probably 6 guys I'm starting over Anthony Richardson right now, maybe. He's been great to start the season. I want to look at rushing stats. Scrambles. It's not letting me look at scrambles. Are you serious? Oh, here we go. So he's had versus zone. He's had 2 rushing attempts for 14 rushing yards. It would be nice if it showed me how many snaps. I guess I can look at that here. No, I actually have to do it from here. Can I? I can look at plays. Let's do that. Jordan Love, 42 plays. Oh, here's another one we can check. EPA per play versus pressure. That's not good. This is not the tier you want to be in. This is valuable information because I know a lot of people are liking Jordan Love overs right now. I've seen them in a lot of places. This is a very big red flag. I'm going to be completely honest. This is one of the things, like for those that were in the live stream last week when I talked about DK Metcalf overs because they were playing cover 3 against him, this feels like the same thing. Like most cappers aren't paying attention to this stuff. This isn't like, oh, I'm such a great capper, I found this, nobody else did. This is just me saying like, this isn't nothing. Like this is something very important. Call it luck that I found it. I'd say I'm awesome, say I just got lucky. I don't care how you interpret it. Just this is something to pay attention to. That's all I'm trying to say. Richardson was in concussion protocol, but he's practicing now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As long as Richardson is playing, you're fine to play him. Don't overlook Jones when it comes to Love completions. I mean, Aaron Jones is better. He's better versus zone, but not enough to make this much of a difference. Hold on. When Jordan Love is under pressure in zone, he has a 0% pass completion. I need to see exactly how many passes this is. Hold on. I don't think that 40 attempts is right on the screen. So I'm checking here. Let me go back to passing. Let's see, pressure, QB pressured, yes. 10 attempts, 4 completions. I don't know where this 0% is coming from, so ignore that. But to be fair, 15 dropbacks. So we're talking 4 completions on 15 dropbacks. That's going to hold up. It's a super small sample size, so we can't put too much weight on it. But sorry. You okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm still on. Okay. Have fun. Sorry about that, guys. Where was I? Oh yeah. So we got, what do we say? He's probably gonna have 35 dropbacks. Say 35. 75% of that's gonna be versus zone. 40% of that's gonna be under pressure. That's 10.5 snaps first zone under pressure. And he's probably gonna complete 3 of those. So if you're looking at his pass completions at 19.5, I think somebody said that, you're expecting to complete 17 of the next 25 dropbacks. And we already showed you he's not good versus zone or man. So it's like, that's not good. Aaron Jones will help. I agree. But it's not like he's slightly below average. Like this is very, very low. And I can isolate for snaps when Aaron Jones is on the field, actually. Let's do that. Let's even take out the QB pressure. Let's check teammates on field. Aaron Jones. It's going to be a small sample size, but worth looking at. Why is this acting up on me? Come on now. Here we go. 11 dropbacks, 5 completions versus zone. And then if we want to look at man, just for fun, because this is really only week 1 against what's an awful Green Bay team. Versus man, 3 dropbacks, 1 completion. Super small sample size. You can basically throw those numbers away. But that I'm just basically going to show that it's not like he has 70, 80% with Aaron Jones in that small sample size either. Goff for fantasy, I'd probably lean, if the Packers are going to run cover 3 again, which I'd honestly, if they do, that's suicide for them because Amon-Ra and Laporta are going to crush them if they run cover 3 again, like they have been doing. But I'd probably like Amon-Ra over everybody, just because I think, dude, I don't know. I want to see Jared Goff's stats outside of those 2 bad away games last season. That's really the only reason that I would have avoided Goff is his bad home away splits. But honestly, which were the 2 games? He didn't throw a lot in this one. This was an awful game. But outside of that, these are pretty nice numbers. We can get that closed out of the way. Have you said your favorite Packers prop yet? Just got back. Honestly, I haven't said a specific prop. I've more just been shitting on Jordan Love for the last 20 minutes. So we might be fading Jordan Love tomorrow. I think that's looking fairly likely, which is weird because I'm expecting the over for the game, which usually means the quarterback gets decent volume. So I'm going to check the pace of play for both teams before I launch that prop. But the only over I'd probably take is Musgrave. And even then, Christian Watson coming back, I don't know how much that's going to affect things yet. Don't want to touch Aaron Jones yet. I might, if AJ Dillon drops at 10 rushing attempts or less, I'm just gonna show you guys this now. So I'd rather show you than tell you. For whatever reason in divisional games, they feed AJ Dillon. It's why I took his over in week 1, which in all fairness was going to be, he had 13 versus Chicago. It was going to be super tight had Aaron Jones not gotten hurt. Like he was on pace for that 9-11. It would have been super tight. However, after this game, 11, 11, 15, 14, 14, 10, 18, 11, 18, 12, 9, 13. And now with Aaron Jones back, they probably focus his usage more in the running game. Which makes he hasn't been good this season though. That's the only thing that's concerning me. He had 1.5 yards per carry this game. I think he didn't do well last game either. 3.0 yards per carry, 3.7. You'd like those numbers to be much higher. But if we look at AJ Dillon versus each division, God dang, rush attempts per game. Career. Come on, we can do it. This is NFC North, but not considering the fact that the first 6 games he basically wasn't playing. So let's check. What was his rookie year? I think 2020 was his rookie year, so let's look at 2021. Yeah. So then you look at this, 12.38. And I think if you isolate the specific game where he actually got a specific role, because I looked at this in week 1, I'm pretty sure that number jumps up to 13.5 and is actually the highest of any division. So, for whatever reason, in those divisional games, they lean on his bully ball running style a little bit more than Aaron Jones. And if they do, they drop that at 10.0 or lower, it's worth a look. If you're really not loving the board, you don't know what to play, but you need one Packers prop, and you don't like whatever one I post if it's not this one, it's worth throwing it in there. So let me write these down so far, the ones that we have. That way we can brag on Twitter again if I go 1-1, but the full list goes like 9-1. So we got AJ Dillon rush attempts if it's 10 or lower. If less than 10. Fade Jordan Love. I don't know which prop yet, but that's looking solid. Amon-Ra St. Brown, yards and receptions. I want to check how tight ends have been doing versus Green Bay because I'm pretty sure it's been good, especially if they've been running a lot of zone. Tight ends versus Green Bay, at least one target, so we get those bums out of there. Oh, I forgot to type in log. What just happened? Oh, I got it. I have like 3 different Google accounts, so I got to switch the window to the one that I actually have the StatMe subscription on. Why are people complaining on Twitter? And why is my thing lagging so much? Bro, Twitter is toxic as hell sometimes. My shit is extremely slow right now. All right, screw this. Let's get stat news up here. What are we looking at? Tight ends for Green Bay. Bay at least one target log. Zoom in and share my screen there instead of here. Whoa, I just made myself real big. Here we go. So let me fix that to versus so we get English. Jimmy Graham, this is a touchdown pass. Juwan Johnson, 2 receptions on 4 targets. I'd like a little more. Kyle Pitts is a wide receiver. This doesn't count. Cole Kmet had a good game, though. For whatever reason, he does well versus the Packers. I don't know why. Maybe it's like specifically divisional games. I think it might be something like that. But like I remember it being a bad matchup for Cole Kmet, but I was like, for whatever reason, he always gets targets versus them. Hawkinson, 12 targets on 7 receptions, but he's actually a dog, apparently. Higbee, 5 targets, 4 receptions, 27 yards. Again, Kmet chewing. Don't know why. Austin Hooper, Okonkwo. Nothing crazy here, though. Dalton Schultz. So, I mean, I'm an idiot. No, wait, I am talking. I don't remember if I was looking at this for Laporta or Musgrave. Let's talk about Laporta. We're already here. So I don't hate the Laporta play at all. I know a lot of people are on it. I know JJ's on it. JJ knows this shit. Laporta's been getting great usage, by the way. Like, $11, 6, and 5 targets. That's phenomenal. For a rookie tight end, too, those numbers are only going to go up. Rookie tight ends don't do, like, you saw, what's his face? Kyle Pitts had a historic rookie season, and he had, like, 980 yards? So, rookie tight ends usually aren't shit. Like, if you draft a tight end, you're expecting year 3. That's when you're expecting to get your worth back. So, for him to be putting up these numbers, weeks 1, 2, and 3, super promising. Against anything that's not a bad matchup, as long as his line is 4.0 or lower, worth a play. So I think he's 4.0 exactly, actually. We can check. Musgrove went down 3 yards. That's interesting. Laporta, 43.5 receiving yards. Are they just going to put this square up every week? Got to be more creative than that, Prize Picks. Where are we? Yeah, 10 yards per reception, basically, for expecting 4 receptions. That makes sense. I support the Laporta play. A lot of people are playing it. So Laporta, Amon-Ra looks good. Probably staying away from Gibbs and Montgomery. We don't know what that split's going to look like. We don't know how healthy Montgomery is. It's hard to take a Goff over Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'll say that much. Because usually if Jared Goff is going over his marks, Amon-Ra is going over too. Like it's so funneled. Like it's not like there's 5 different weapons that he goes to. Jahmyr Gibbs gets a decent amount of work. Or actually, we never know how much work he gets at this point because week 2 he had 9 targets as the backup basically, and then week 3 he had 1 target as the main back on 17 routes. Yeah, I want to see Amon-Ra. Let me check how well he's done versus the Packers because unless they're expecting Jair to shadow him, that's the only thing that explains his lines being as low as they are. 9 targets, 10 targets, 5 targets. Like, come on now. We're not expecting this to hold. 4 receptions with 9 targets. I know Jair might. Jair might be on it, but I want to see. Is there a way to check if Jair follows him? Come on, why are we lagging? Here we go. Oh, I'm supposed to do a video with JJ tonight. Okay, I'm going to be out of here in like 15 minutes so me and JJ can do our video. What was I about to look up? Guys, I forget. Oh, Jair Amon-Ra. Let's just do that. See what comes up. Nobody's really posting on whether Jair shadows him. Like, if you look at Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore, we can do that right now. I guarantee you the first 10 posts are about Mike Evans' log versus that. I can look at here. I'll do this. I can look at film specifically from last game that I don't think I can share, and we can look at exactly what the coverage was like. If this website would work properly. Why are we doing this? Oh, we got to put a dash apparently. Is that the difference? Yep. I'm on dash raw. Receiving. Let's look at game log. In 2022. Did Jair play every game last year? I can't remember if it was last year or the season before that he was. I know he played January 8th, so we'll pull that one up. 35 routes. Let's check exactly how many Jair was on him for. Yeah, no, Jair was playing first snap. He's playing outside against, I don't even know who number 45 is for the Lions. Second snap or second route. Again, on the outside. It doesn't look like Jair's going to follow Amon-Ra into the slot. That's DJ Chark, number 4, that he's guarding. Jared Goff, incomplete pass to Amon-Ra. Where's Amon-Ra? So here Amon-Ra goes to the outside. That's not Jair. So Jair's not shadowing him. I'm sure he ends up on him here and there, but Jair was on DJ Chark. He's probably going to be on Khalif Raymond this game. Looks like Khalif Raymond's been filling out that role. Better, might I add. So You can come.
Thank you.
Of course. Oh, not good connection. Yo, my Ethernet cord hasn't been plugged in this whole time. That makes so much more sense. Sorry about it, guys. All right. The connection should be better from here on out. So if it was bad, I apologize. Oh, let's go back to the film. All right, next route. This is Khalif Raymond. They're in zone. Jair again not shadowing. I don't think Jair's going to shadow him on Raw, guys. I'm looking at the film. It's not happening. Monra's coming out of the slot. Jair's covering the X receiver like he normally does, which is DJ Chark. And I believe it's been Khalif Raymond. No, not Khalif Raymond. Who's it been? Has it been Josh Reynolds? I think it's been Josh Reynolds that's been the X receiver. I don't remember. What I do know is it's not Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is Rasul Douglas. This is not Amon-Ra. Is that Rasul Douglas? Yeah, it is. They're playing zone. Deep right to Josh Reynolds. Where's Jair? They're in zone again. This is technically on Amon-Ra. Like Amon-Ra's running into his zone, but it's not. He's not shadowing. Yeah, guys. Don't worry about Jair Alexander for your Amon-Ra St. Brown props. I think that's the only reason that his lines are so low. He's had 9 targets in at least 9 targets in the last 3 games versus the Packers. And we can look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, at least 9 targets with Jared Goff. It's 2022 log. Dr. Prophet has been calling him Jordan Olove. That's exactly what I'm calling him. I know he's been on fire from a statistical standpoint, but this is why I keep screaming that he's due for regression. Oh, this is not ideal. A lot of games with 6 receptions and at least 9 targets. They're better this year, though. He's better this year. Not too worried about it. Because if we get to that 10th target, dude, green, straight green. Nothing but green. 7 receptions, lock it, receiving yards, money. Yeah, look at that. With 10 targets, he's never missed 7 receptions or 74.5 receiving yards. What's his targets per route run so far this year? He's been chewing too. Like even versus teams he was supposed to have a bad game versus Atlanta. Like that was not technically a good matchup for him, and he fucking ate them, dude. 9 receptions, 11 targets, 102 yards. Put some respect on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jerry's list is questionable for tomorrow, I think, too. Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point. He's not going to shadow him regardless. Lions are probably going to wipe the floor anyways, just dominating time of possession. If David Montgomery's back, really the only concern for the Lions right now is a healthy offensive line. But even then, the way they scheme their offense and the way teams can run on Green Bay, their run defense is horrible. The Lions should have I think they should have a comfortable win, in my opinion. Some fan biased. Need to caution that before you guys put your money on it. But, I mean, I'm looking at the numbers, and that's what I'm seeing. And the Packers have played Falcons, and they've been sort of good, but the Lions just wiped the floor with them. The Falcons had a 47% not 3.5%. What stat am I thinking of? Oh, they had 2.2 yards per carry. They didn't have I don't think they had a single red zone drive. Maybe they had one. They had an awful game. The Lions crushed them. And the Lions had a 25% red zone efficiency. The score is 20-6. It easily could have been in the high 30s and 40s. Easily. I think they had 8 red zone drives, so they scored a touchdown on 2 of them. Usually that's about like 60%, 50 to 60, 50 to 65% for most teams. So 8 red zone drives, they probably should have had 2 or 3 more touchdowns, if I'm being completely honest. No, they had 4 red zone drives, and one of the touchdowns was from outside of the red zone. Never mind. Still, that we're looking at 27 to 34 points that they left on the table, even with that. So, or not left on the table, but they could have had 27 or 34 points. So if Amon-Ra can get that 10th reception or 10th target, those receptions are green. Oh wait, what? What's going on here? You guys see that? Oh, there it is. I was like, I don't see those 60s anywhere when I do that. Amon-Ra St. Brown's looking good, guys. It's looking really good. I want to see what there's one website that I can't remember what it is. Oh no. It's where I get the first read share from and all that stuff. No. Man, why can't I remember this website? It's actually such a helpful website. It's fantasy something. I know fantasy was in the name. God dang it, man. That's unfortunate. Is it this one? No. Yeah, I was trying to, when I like my Mike Evans pick on Monday Night Football, I was just looking for any reason not to take it. And I was like, oh, here it is. It is it. So I was just looking up Mike Evans, Monday Night Football, and I was like, all right, what are we looking for? Like, give me one reason not to take it, and I couldn't find one, so I just pulled the trigger. Let's look at where we go. We're looking at 2022. Let's look at 2023. Somebody said, I don't know what to pair Amon-Ra with. Either, I'm probably doing a Jordan Love under, honestly. Trying to debate whether I do completions or fantasy. Okay. If you're on Prize Picks, what's his fantasy score? Do they even have it up? Ignore my balance. I took it all out and put it in DraftKings. $20 pass completions, man. I really want to take that under. It's just a shame because I think the game goes over. 20 pass completions is too high, especially at 32.5 pass attempts. Like, I think it's very realistic. He gets 33, 34 pass attempts and 18 completions. Very realistic. Man, 6 yards per attempt, just about. Let's even give him 34 attempts just to be generous. That's 204 yards. That 232 is too high, bro. Oh, this is tempting, guys. That under pass yards is tempting. I just don't want that broken play. 232. He's at 259 on 22. He's not throwing 44 times. I'm sorry. Like, they threw 44 times because they had to. I'm pretty sure they won at like the end. Like, they were behind. Yeah, bro. 18 points in the fourth quarter. He's not doing that again. Come on, bro. Team stats. Yards, 5.4 yards per pass. Unless you think he's getting 40 pass attempts, you have to be taking his under yards in this game. That's the way I'm seeing it. Love under first 10 completions looks like a very fun bet to sweat. I agree. You good? Got it. Wait, what was the logo? Maybe my prize picks. Okay, it's like $25. That's why I don't actually care that you guys see it. I just don't want some idiot to go on Twitter and be like, "Oh, Dr. Profit only had $25 in his prize picks account." If they do that, I'm just gonna laugh at them and post this clip. Yeah, I don't see him past 28. It's not plausible. That's my thing. How many times did they run the ball? Yeah, that's the other thing. Whoa, I'm lagging. Okay, I'm back. AJ Dillon was obviously the one and only running back. There was no Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones should help Jordan Love complete a couple more passes. I agree. But with Aaron Jones being back, that also means they run the ball a few more times. They ran the ball 17 times outside of Jordan Love. Outside of Jordan Love running the ball. That number is probably going to be higher. For being honest. Let's check the week with Aaron Jones. Let's see how much it was. I imagine it was much lower. I mean, granted, I do expect Green Bay to be losing this game as well. Why am I freezing? All right. I do expect them to be losing this game as well. But it's a 1.5 point spread. Like, I expect the Lions to win, but I have to assume that Vegas has some idea of what they're doing. So even if Lions win, more than likely going to be a one possession game. But no, I went back too far. What time is it? Let's write this down. Jordan Love. Oh, here we go. So we already got Jordan Love fade on there. Sam Laporta receptions. For what it's worth, I don't know that. I feel like I'd rather. Man, Laporta's tough between receptions and yards. I feel like I'd rather have 4.0 receptions and eat that push potential over taking these 43.5 yards. Because where's 30-13? Do I not have this up here? I don't. Let's just pull it up. The odds of him getting 45 yards on 3 receptions, for example, I find fairly low. The odds of him going under 5, or the odds of him getting 5 receptions and 40 yards, I think is fairly likely, just with the nature of the tight end position. With the tight end position, you usually want to be taking receptions over yards. Usually. There's exceptions, but usually you want to be taking receptions. Let's check. I want to see, no, team defense. First tight ends, yards per reception. Green Bay, where are you, Green Bay? Did I pass them? Bang even, 9 yards per reception. And so, Sam Laporta, 4 receptions, 9 yards per reception. Y'all can do the math. That's 36 yards. Not that simple, obviously, but gives you a nice ballpark. He's averaging about 10 yards per reception himself. Let's go look at last year, just to get a bigger sample size. Green Bay, where are you? Why do I keep passing it, man? Where are they? Y'all see him? I don't see. Oh, here we go. 29th, 8.9 yards per reception. So basically the same thing. Yeah, if you're gonna take Sam Laporta, his yards or his receptions aren't on prize picks yet. We can see if they're an underdog. Where's my mouse? Come on. Where do we go? Where's my mouse? Here we are. Let's refresh. I'm going to have to go here in a minute. So I'll give it like 2 more minutes. And then we'll pull up some things. We can scroll down here. 4 receptions. So yeah, go ahead and take that. Either that or the targets, whichever you prefer. Honestly, don't take fantasy. Fantasy points is not a bad look. 2 receptions or 2 points off receptions, 42. That's 6.2. If he gets a touchdown, that fantasy points is free. If he doesn't, it makes it a little bit of a sweat because you probably need like 6 receptions and 60 yards, which is asking for a bit much. So, yeah, that 4.0 receptions is probably the most enticing. Maybe the 18.5 yards after catch if you want to try and get it on one big play, but that seems kind of tight to me. Man, go ahead and take this, guys. I can't play it, but Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9.5 targets. That is a terrible line. That should be probably 9.5 at the minimum. Minimum. Most likely it should be 10, 10.5. They don't even have it on Prize Picks. I'd be shocked if it doesn't open at 9.5. This is horrible. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9.0 targets. That's a horrible line. So that Amon-Ra St. Brown targets and fading Jordan Love look like absolutely phenomenal moves. Yo, 17.3 fantasy points? No, I'm sorry. There's just no chance. Even if we give him 20 rushing yards, he's 15.35 in the passing game. Let's give him two touchdowns. That puts him at 7.35. Need 200 yards at 2 touchdowns, but I think he only gets 1 touchdown, so we're looking at 11.35. He needs damn near 300 yards to cover that. He needs either 2 touchdowns or 300 passing yards. Even then. If he gets 225, let's say, that would be 9 points and 2 touchdowns. That's 17 fantasy points. So that's 17 fantasy points. And give him hold on. It's -2 for a fumble. So you're assuming with no interceptions and no fumbles, 2 touchdowns, and his normal lines, he's at 18.5. So that gives you a 1-point variance, assuming no turnovers and 2 touchdowns. That is way too high. Go ahead. If you're on Underdog, you're taking this card right now. I'm going to screenshot it. I'm going to put that in the Discord. That's horrible. That is horrendous. If he gets 2 touchdowns, let's see what his odds are for 2 touchdowns. Because I can't imagine it's high. Where's my phone? Make sure JJ hasn't texted me. No, we're good. Passing props, passing touchdowns. Let's zoom in. We're looking at -135 juice, under 1.5 touchdowns. Sleeper has him at 18.2. I need to check what their scoring is for turnovers. But the point is, at -135 under 1.5 for passing touchdowns. It's 4 for a passing touchdown. We'll call it 5.5 because it's at an even line. Let's say it's -115 both ways. We're calling that 6 points because you get 2 for the touchdown and then take off the 2 from the 4 for it not being a touchdown at the 50-50 line. And -135, we'll call it 5 points. So 17.35 -5 -9 for the yards, -1.65 for the rushing yards. You're still 1.7 short, assuming no fumble, assuming no interceptions, which we can check that as well. -135 over receptions. So that's -1. We'll say We'll call it 0.75. So now we're at 2.45 fantasy points off the mark, and we're not even considering fumbles. That is the value on the line is absolutely beautiful. I'm sorry. That's horrible. That's horrible. What I might do, can I take, let's see if I can take a single game parlay in this game, but can I get an alt under? I can't. That would have been nice. If I could take him like under 3.5, under 2.5 passing touchdowns, that'd be beautiful. Let me see. Maybe I can. Oh, I'd be surprised if they let me, honestly. Passing props, no, they won't let me. Jordan Love passing touchdowns, no. That's a shame, because that would have been beautiful. But okay, so let's put it this way. You expect for him to go over that fantasy points line, you're going to need about 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Or 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. So we'll say, nope, not that one. We need this and this. So you're looking at plus 108, and that's on a single game parlay. So those are naturally juice. So it's probably more like plus 120. You flip it, that would be about minus 150 on the under. So for that not happening. Or you're getting about 300 passing yards and 1 touchdown. That's plus 550. Let me check I forgot to check the sleeper scoring. Let me do that. So sleeper scoring, same as underdog. Same as underdog. Go get that. If that line holds, they need to fire their lines makers. Even if it hits. I'm gonna it's not like if it hits, they're not like, oh, they knew something. Like, what do they know? They just got lucky if this hits. Because the value on this is right. That's like putting up a prop that should be even line at like plus 200. Yeah, it might hit because it's supposed to be an even line, but the value on it is so wrong. Do you guys want EV? I know I get shit on a lot for hating on the EV community. There you go. There you go. On a silver platter. That's horrible, man. Jared Goff, under fantasy. Amon-Ra St. Brown, over 9.0 targets. Doesn't get much better than that. 2-0 right there. I can't take either of those because I'm on books. But I might drive across the border just to lock that in the morning if those lines are still there. They probably shouldn't be. But if they're still there, I told you it needs to be worth it for me to waste those 25, 30 minutes driving across the border and driving back. I'll waste it for that because that's not a waste. That's horrible. So, yeah, anybody that wants – it's not here. This one. People wanted pairs. Two picks alike. There you go. There you go. Do they have A.J. Dillon on the board yet? Rush attempts? They do not. Oh, and for what it's worth, Christian Watson's coming back. I like all 3 of these guys more than Christian Watson tomorrow. Other than that, all right, we're probably not going over Thursday or Sunday slate. I'll probably do that tomorrow because me and JJ got to do this video. Got to record it for tomorrow morning. We're trying to do it the night before, but huge, lots of value tonight. Just locked in Love under and Laporta 3.5 receptions. Fucking love it, Tori. Love it. Enjoy your money. I'll just say that. I'm excited. This was a successful stream. This is an hour and 45 minutes for one game, and I think we found the 2 best props we could have found. Honestly, for anybody who stayed for the entire hour and 45, thank you. I appreciate your support, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope my antics and excitement in finding these props made this interesting. And make sure you like and subscribe because this definitely won't be the last stream I do. Again, I'm trying to do these every day. Life gets ahead of me sometimes, but I'm going to try and be a little bit more disciplined about my schedule what usually keeps happening is I finish the video with JJ around 11:30, do my baseball research, do my football research, my write-ups, and even though I plan to go live at 2 p.m., by the time I finish everything, it's already 3:30, and then I have to run an errand at the grocery store and this and that and make lunch, and then next thing you know, it's 5:30. I still need to go to the gym. Point being, I'm going to try and get all my stuff done, my content done and posted before the stream with JJ. That way, all I got to do is post it, get it up around noon, and then I'm done for the day. Can go to the gym, be back by 2:30, go live at 3. What you guys can put in the chat now or just DM me if you're here, what time works best for you in terms of when I go live. Because if I go live at 2, but nobody's off from work or has their lunch break or whatever until a different time, then obviously I want you guys to be there. So it's for you guys. So it's up to you guys. Last question. Omar Maddox said, add Laporta as well. On Sleeper, go ahead and take his 3.5 receptions. On Underdog, I'd honestly just lock these two in. I think Laporta still hits, but when I have two that I love very clearly more than the third one, even though on Underdog specifically, not on PrizePicks, on Underdog specifically, the value on 3 picks is much higher than 2 picks. But if I have two that I like significantly more than the third one, I'd rather just take the 2. Outside of that, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Likely you'll see me tomorrow before the game, both on the Thursday Night Football video me and JJ are going to post, and I'll probably do another live stream, probably shorter than this. This went way longer than I expected, but hope you guys enjoyed it. Good luck tomorrow. Make sure you check out my post so you know exactly what I'm playing. I'm going to post this on Twitter. This is not my official list because I actually can't lock any of these in on sportsbooks. Both are great plays, though. So lock this in. If you want to wait for my official list tomorrow, I'll be posting that hopefully in the morning. I think I'll have them up in the morning, first thing in the morning. Other than that, good luck.